Welcome, everyone, to our Biomusic One session. This is the third time Jean-Louis has been here. And the reason we have had him back so many times is this music is so effective. I have it, I listen to it probably pretty much daily to help bring peace and balance into my life. So we are going to get to Jean-Louis as soon as possible. I just want to give a quick little intro for those of you who are new to this, and welcome, Joy. Thank you so much for joining us. So Jean-Louis Fargier is a pioneering artist, researcher, and the co-creator of Biomusic One. Biomusic One is an innovative audio-active process that explores the impact of sonic vibrations on living beings. As an accomplished author, composer, and music producer, Jean-Louis has applied his diverse expertise to 8 albums that incorporate this unique technology. As founder of the independent label L'Oriana Music, Jean-Louis is committed to producing and distributing Biomusic One worldwide. His background as a performing musician and therapist enriches his current role as a speaker and facilitator of stress release and increased conscious awareness courses. A lifelong student of the physics of consciousness, Jean-Louis continues to expand our understanding of sound's potential to transform and heal. His multifaceted career spans from music creation to wellness advocacy, making him a leading figure in the intersection of sound, science, and holistic well-being. Welcome, Jean-Louis. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Leah, for this wonderful introduction. And I will remain a lot more modest than everything that you've said. We are just two French researchers, really, who have dedicated our lives to try and find a way to live more consciously. And it just happened that because I'm a musician and my co-creator by Music One was a DJ and is also very much into music, but we both, as you said, spent a lot of time studying the physics of consciousness, which is really understanding how our matrix work and how it works, sorry, and how what is our place as human beings on this, and how we can lead our lives so that we can really fully express what we have deep inside ourselves, and not just being puppets of, not just puppets, but let ourselves be influenced by vital memories from the past, from our ancestors, from our environment, from our friends and family, and so on, and from our own beliefs as well, and from all the what should we call it, self programmation from our childhood, that we create to ourselves, that our biological brain creates for ourselves, to protect us, really, at the end of the day. But as we grow up, some of the beliefs that our biological brain has created are not relevant anymore. And if we're not aware of that, then we can go through life in a way that is not really the best way we could. And therefore, our music really is only the support to enable the right conditions, so that your own being, I will say your body, but by body I always mean body, mind, and spirit. Your whole body basically is able to function to the, let's say, the full potential of what it can offer. And there's a whole science behind it. I'm not going to go into the detail. You can see that on the website. But really, the idea is that when we tune into ourselves, when we enable a free and clear flow of information in our body, then it starts functioning to the best of its abilities. And from then on, we become a lot more aware of who we are, why we're here, what do I have to give to this world, how can I do it to the best of my abilities. And little by little, we can drop all the false beliefs and programmation that prevent us from really realizing ourselves in that way. So Biomusic One has no other really ambition than we're not here to teach anything or give any advice to anyone, but simply to help everyone to tune into themselves, really, um, and from then on to make their own conscious realization and follow their path in the best way they can. But it's a great Biomusic One is really a great facilitator after 20 years of having developed, well, not developed, but going around the world to talk about it and running workshops, conferences, um, online, and of course in various places around the world. We realize that it's a great tool to accelerate a liberating process where you can liberate the stress that has accumulated, memorial, personal, relational, environmental, professional, all the stress that affect us. We can easily release it, and from then on, being more able to become aware of who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, and to doing it not in a mental way, not through a mental process, but literally by letting life inspire us to be what we are supposed to be, what we have chosen to be actually in this incarnation. And so Biomusic One is very important. It's not at all a process that there is absolutely no input from the mind, from the mental part of ourselves. The mind cannot control anything because we work on the informational level, on the vibrational level of our beings. So therefore, I really invite you to live this workshop together, to live it in that spirit. We let go. We forget all our beliefs, all our. Or if you are used, for example, to meditation, forget about this. Don't worry about how you should be meditating. Just sit down comfortably. Ideally, close your eyes. It's much better to actually feel things, and really let things happen. If you pay attention to your body while you listen to the music, you will notice that things happen in different parts of the body, or at emotional level, or spiritual level. Doesn't matter. It will happen at any level that is relevant to you, and that your body chooses to transform today, to liberate, reharmonize, rebalance, and basically transform for the best of of your self-development, if I could say. And so therefore, we're not here to analyze, control, or try to understand anything. Just we observe. This is really the foundation of letting go. We just observe ourselves. We take note of what's going on inside. It's an inside realization. We don't try to change it or do anything at all. We just need to know that whatever happens to you is happening in a liberating way. Okay, let's say, for example, you suddenly find that you have lots of thoughts coming in and all that. Do not worry about this. Do not let your mind say to yourself, oh gosh, I wish I thought I would be really relaxed and enjoying this, and now I've got all my thoughts coming in. Don't worry about it, because if your thoughts are coming in, it's actually your body releasing events of your life that needs to be released. So the only thing to do is watch the movie. Watch the movie. It's like a movie of yourself, and let it unfold. And what will happen is that when you take note, oh, this has come to my mind, oh, this happened in my knee or in my throat or wherever. Just take note of this, because by becoming aware of it, then you are accompanying your body in its self-liberating process. That really is how biomusic works. Another really important thing is that do not worry about you like or you don't like the music. Some of it you will see is very dance, really dynamic, and for a lot of people, especially in the wellness market, they're used to very soothing music, relaxing and so on. Well, Biomusic One is not approaching things that way. There's always rhythm, harmonies, and melodies, because there are the three pillars of rebalancing at the artistic level. And the artistic level is a reflection of what's happening at the vibratory level in our body. So the rhythm are really grounding, the melodies are really connecting us, and the harmonies join them together. This is really the foundation of our work on the material level, But obviously, there's a lot of work at a very subtle level as well. Um, so I really invite you to forget everything you know, just pay attention to yourself, observe what's happening, and that's it. And then at the end of each, it's going to be 4 short meditation. At the end of each one, I really invite you to use the chat and to write down whatever you felt is important or whatever comes back to your mind. Why? Because it's a two-way process. The first release, the first accompanying of this liberation and reharmonizing that your body is going to do is by taking notice inside yourself. Oh, this is what's happening in myself. While you listen to the music. And then when you write it down on the chat, you will actually become aware by exteriorizing what you felt. And this is the second step to go deeper in the accompanying process without, again, analyzing or anything like that. And obviously, at the end of the session, forget about the chat. Don't try and you can copy it if you want. I don't know if you are allowed to do that, but honestly, I invite you to forget completely about it, because if you have done it consciously, if you have paid attention to what's happening to you and then you've written it down consciously, oh, I felt peaceful, and you can still feel what that peacefulness was. Oh, I felt a pain in my ankle, and you are aware of that pain. Then you are really helping your body in its liberating process. And then we forget about it. Because if we don't forget about it, I promise you, your mind will find a good reason for whatever is happening in your body, and it will take you back to the comfort zone, with an explanation that keeps it very happy in its misery. Okay, I simplify things, and so really we just let go, and it could be also it could be much fun. It doesn't have to be always serious to actually work on oneself. It could be really fun. So if you have a really fun experience, well, go for it. I don't know if I should say that, but I'm not saying that to imply anything. But last workshop I did, we do every Sunday an hour of listening session as well. And I had a woman who wrote to me and said, I've never had such a wonderful orgasm. But anything can happen, honestly. It's quite interesting. It's the first time it happened to me, but anything can happen. So just welcome anything, whether it's great to go through it, or whether it can be maybe some pain or some discomfort. Don't worry about it. Your body is always in control of what it's liberating, and it chooses the best way of liberating. So that's what it's all about, basically. Great. Okay. So obviously don't expect anything, because if you expect something, it's likely not to happen. We always don't expect anything and just welcome whatever happens to us. Great. Brilliant. Any questions at all in the chat? No? So let's go for the first. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So do you want to do the experiment, Jean-Louis, where we get
Oh, sorry, I forgot about it.
here?
Thanks for reminding me. I invite you, if you want to play that game, it's fun. I invite you to do a quick selfie of yourself. Okay? It's for you. I'm not asking you to send a selfie or anything. You just take a quick selfie if you want of yourself, and we will do one at the end of the session as well. All right? So don't try to pose anything. Just be natural. Just a quick selfie, natural of yourself, and that's it. If you want to do it, and you will be invited to do another one at the end, and then you'll be free to look at it in your own time and see how was I before the session, how am I at the end of the session, and it could be very interesting. And I invite you to maybe email Leah or me about what you felt. What did it strike you in any way at all, or how do you think there was a difference? It would be very very helpful for us in our research, of course, but also like everything you write in the chat is very helpful for our research as well. Um, but also it'd be interesting to see how you felt about it. I've done this experiment on many occasions. But no, it's the first time I'm doing it live on a webinar. I've done it many times in presential workshops, in live workshops. And I'm not saying anything. I'll say it at the end. What people felt.
Okay.
I don't want to imply
And I
anything.
think just checking in, like right now for me, I'm feeling just anxious and stressed because I have so much to do. And so I think that if we can just stop and just acknowledge where you are right now and just kind
Sure.
of make a note of how, right? Like, because I'm excited to get to the end of this and feel better because I know I will. So it's kind of interesting too to like just make a note, just a conscious note to yourself that, hey, um, I'm feeling whatever that is. And then at the end, and you know what? If you have to leave early, don't worry about it. But when you leave, just make sure that you check in with yourself and say, oh, yeah. So Mary Ellen just joined us. Mary Ellen, Jean-Louis is giving us an assignment, if you want, where we take a selfie right now. And you're not going to share this. You just take a selfie of yourself if you have your phone. If you don't, no worries. And then we're going to revisit this and take a picture of ourselves at the very end. So again, if you have to leave early, don't worry about it. You can come and go. We're totally, easy here. And so don't feel like, oh, I'm going to miss anything or, oh, I can't give my comments. It's fine. Wherever you are, just make a note of it. And like Jean-Louis said, be sure to email us. And I'll give Jean-Louis' email at the end where you can email us and just let us know how this worked for you today. So now I'm
And
going to turn it back over to you.
thank you, Leah. Another thing I could invite you to do very quickly, if you want to write down in the chat, you may write it down to everybody, or you may write it down in private to Leah or me, but it doesn't matter. But if you want to write down maybe in 2 or 3 words how you feel. Do you feel stressed, happy, at peace, worried about something in your life? Just 1 or 2 keywords, and then we'll do the same at the end. 1 or 2 keywords on how you feel. You know, um, because we'll see. I will comment on this later on. This is very important, in fact, exercise, because you will see that once there is some form of liberation and rebalancing within ourselves, it changes a lot of things in the way we perceive life. And perhaps you will become more aware of it by looking at the chat at the end. Maybe there is something that really is a preoccupation for you at the moment, and we'll see if it's still a preoccupation at the end, for example. Um, I think it's going to be a great experiment to do that. Brilliant. All right, thank you for sharing that, Amanda, Claudia, G. Brilliant, Leah, fantastic. All right, I'll let you write down 2 or 3 more things if you wish. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen I'm going to share the audio, and we're going to start the first session. At the end of the session, so this is how we do each session. We close our eyes, we sit comfortably, or we lie down comfortably. If you have a headphone, it's better. If you don't worry, just listen to the music. Pay attention to yourself, like I explained to you. And at the end of it, you could do also, just at the beginning, take note of your breathing, and then forget about it. It's a way of letting go. And also, you may want to say, internally, inside yourself, consciously, I am, and then your first name. For example, I am Jean-Louis. When I say it consciously, it reconnects me to my identity and my space-time. And it's very good to actually be more receptive than to the music. So this is what I invite you to do right now. And once everybody is ready, I will start the first 2 tracks. After 2 tracks, I will stop, take time to come back, use the chat, write down anything. I will keep an eye on the chat, and if there is 1 or 2 words that I feel are worth rebounding upon to give you more insight in one way or another, not with regard to what you've been through yourself, because we're not here to analyze anything, as I said, but to help you better understand the process of liberation and how biomusic can help with this, then I will. And if not, we'll move on to the next listen. Because like this, you will have 4 listening sessions that will become very powerful. And if you were there also in last session, this is a continuity. It's an audio program which is a continuity. So you might find that there is a continuity in the release of rebalancing and release of stress. And like this, we will keep a little bit more time at the end to give more explanation on how and become more aware of how basically the rebalancing process has been useful, and how you can use it in your life too in that way. Brilliant. All right, I've spoken enough. Let's move on. So I'm going to cut my video just to make sure there isn't sufficient bandwidth, we don't get, and you get really good audio. I'm going to share my screen, but you don't need to look at it, doesn't matter, because it will be useful to actually, for me to play, and then I'm going to put the best audio quality, and like this, we are ready to start. That's it. Okay, so I invite you to close your eyes, sit comfortably, say I am, and then your first name, sorry. Pay attention to your breathing, then forget about it. Here we go. I wish you a wonderful musical journey.
With the fire that transmutes, you regenerate Iowa. You, the lover, with the fire that reveals, you awaken Iowa. You, the man, with the fire that illuminates, you irradiate Iowa. With the flamboyant soul, you penetrate and you embrace Iowa.
With a flamboyant soul, I penetrate and embrace Iowa.
Here you go. I invite you to come back to your breathing and take the time to come back and then use the chat to exterrorate whatever you feel important to take note of. As you've seen, you've had actually two tracks, one from the album Kinema, one from the album Monte Cristo 3, and they completely different from artistic point of view, Kinema is probably the softest of all the albums, and Monte Cristo 3 is the most dynamic one. And Kinema helps release stress through, at the energetic level, through, let's say, enabling a nice flow of chi and vital energy in the body. And Monte Cristo 3 helps release stress from past traumas, from transgenerational as well influences. It's what really this album is about, which is why it's strongly rhythmic as well. But you'll see that this is not for that reason that you will feel, things that are just relevant to you here and now, and not because the album helped in that way or another way. That's the beauty of Music One. Just having a quick look at your feedback so that I can give you some points of references as well. I can see, for example, better flow, less anxiety from Ali, fantastic, nothing to say. From Caroline, I can see that you've had lots of different things, pulsing energy. At the same time, you could see the colors and other things as well, and tingling sensations. So you have physical and also abstract things, and the body really uses any means it thinks fit to release some kind of stress, whatever is pertinent to it to release, And when you need really to be aware of what is being released, your body usually gives you thoughts, as I was saying before, or feeling physical sensation in the body to be aware of where the stress was, settling down in your body. And sometimes it's going to use abstract way, like colors, situations that don't relate to you in the real world. And this is because it needs to use those means to release stress that would be counterproductive to bring back to your consciousness, So it's always relevant to what you are releasing, but it may not make sense to you immediately, and it doesn't matter. What is important is to actually let the process occur and do its job, let the body do its job, and then you will observe positive changes in your life in the following hours or days and so on. That's how it works with Music One. While we listen, we're liberating, not always aware of what we are liberating, but what is for sure is that if we keep paying attention to ourselves, in the coming hours or days and so on, we can feel different in different aspects of ourselves, and we relate differently to different aspects of our life, and this is what is important. This is what matters at the end of the day. Brilliant. Okay, and this is how, little by little, by releasing more and more stress and retuning, rebalancing ourselves and reconnecting to ourselves, state of minds like being tired or worried or things like that stop settling in ourselves. We could feel them for a few minutes, but they will never settle. After a while, they don't settle anymore. They don't invade us anymore. They're just passing by, and at some point they don't pass by anymore. You surf life, and that's the aim. That's the aim of it. For me, is being able to surf life without being affected by whatever happened in my life, whatever I could create with life. Brilliant. Okay. I can see a lot of flowing movement, clarity, feeling kind of numb and stuck. Okay, if you're feeling still some kind of effects of that you had during the listening session, don't worry about it. Let it happen, because your body needs a bit more time to transmute, okay, and to liberate. So it's fine. The small time we take in between each listening session is to actually allow our body to integrate the liberation that occurs during those 12 minutes together while listening. So if you feel it's still working one way or another, just let it go, let it do its work, and just observe it, and that's it, you know. Brilliant. Okay, another one. Fell asleep for tea. Tipal. It doesn't matter if you fall asleep. Okay, if you don't fall asleep and you're aware of what's going on in your body, fine, perfect. You're gonna accompany it in a more conscious way. If you fell asleep, still your body is actually rebalancing itself. In fact, one of the most recommended listening way with my music is during sleep, while we sleep. You know, we put it in inaudible mode. We don't worry about it. It plays through the night. We put it in repeat mode. We don't hear it, but the frequency spread, and we rebalance ourselves, and we have a more restful sleep. So if you fell asleep, it doesn't matter. You should feel different after the listening session, and that's what matters. Okay, great. I think for now, having a quick look. D. I found the second track annoying, forcing myself not to turn it off. Okay, brilliant. As I said, was that music learning some kind of imbalance? Okay, very good question. If you, as I said, we don't worry if we like it or we don't like it. It could be that you feel annoyed because it's not the kind of music you like to listen to. That's fair enough. And in that case, we say to our mind, okay, leave me alone for a while. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about whether I like it or not. I just let it help me feeling better. Okay, and then your mind understanding, it leaves you alone. But it could also be effectively that if that track is actually touching a sensitive point in you, you may have a reaction. You may have, for example, a reaction like being angry, or you may have a negative emotional reaction, which is fine because it's actually a reflection of what is being released. Okay, so just take notice of, you felt annoyed, and then let it come to you. Is there anything that really annoys me at the moment in life? And then see if it's still annoying you at the end of the session. That's how you will see how music works, you know, because it always goes in a liberating way. So if you felt annoyed, G, I invite you to don't think about it, and just let life bring to you the answer. And I invite you to let it come to you. If something comes to you with regard to that, and in that case, I will invite you to observe how do you relate to that now. You know, is it still annoying for you or not anymore? And that's the beauty of it. That's what it's all about. Brilliant. Okay, let's go to the second thing, unless I see another word that really triggers something to say. Tick, tick, tick. Not at all sleep or tired. Can you speak to that? Sorry, Colette, what are you asking? My lower spine actually felt like a column of energy was spiraling up and around, and it keeps sensation. I was very energized the entire time. Not lost sleep or tired. Perfect. That's fine. If you have a rebalancing, you can feel energized, you could feel at peace, you can feel different ways. Yeah, in fact, you're going to feel what that rebalancing is bringing out to you. Okay, so that's great. Just observe it. Sometimes the rebalancing makes you feel tired because it's a big chunk of information that you are releasing, to keep it simple, and this could bring a little bit of tiredness, but it's obviously it's not going to last. But while you're liberating, while you're transmuting that stress, you could feel a bit tired, but you could feel energized, you could feel at peace, you could feel great, you could feel, you know, any state of being could be the consequence of the release. And it's momentaneous, so it doesn't matter. Just let it happen. Okay, brilliant. Let's move on to the second listen. So I cut again my video. I'm gonna share again the screen, make sure we have good audio coming out. I invite you in the meantime to close your eyes again, sit comfortably again, and If you feel like saying again, I am, and then your first name, please do so. If you don't feel that, you feel already great in you and you feel here and now, peaceful, or not even peaceful, but you feel totally aware and full attention to yourself, then that's fine, you know. Okay. I'll give it a few seconds and then we'll start.
taste of autumn, taste of autumn. You have the voice of autumn, voice of autumn. The eyes of autumn, eyes of autumn. You have the scent of autumn, scent of autumn, scent of autumn, scent of autumn.
I am the earth that nourishes you. I am the water that quenches your thirst. I am the air that you breathe. I am the fire that animates you. I am the whole. I am you are.
Here we are. That was the second listening session. Again, take time to come back, and especially if you feel a particular state of well-being, peacefulness, or I don't know, well-being in one part or another of your body. Take time to really become aware of it, fully aware of it, and integrating it. It's a gift from our workshops to have that kind of feeling, inside feeling. Okay. Okay, well, I'll let you write down. I realized there was earlier on a message from Claudia. Realization there are no shortcuts. Interesting. We can also have effectively little messages like this during sonic meditation, biomusic one sonic meditation. Very often it happens. Sometimes it really creates a declic. It's really pertinent. It's really relevant to us. And sometimes thinking, why am I getting this sentence? But Claudia, I invite you, let it sink in, and I'm pretty sure it will make sense to you in due course. Pretty sure. Okay, let's have a look now. My lower spine actually felt like kind of energy. Oh, no, that was before. Okay, now, a lot of tingles again for Caroline. Okay, I didn't mention anything before, but tingles are very common with biomusic one sonic meditation. They usually happen in the part of the body where the energy was not flowing so well, and being cleared, the circuits being cleared, the information start to flow a lot more fluidly, and this manifests very often like tingling sensations or mainly tingling sensation. So it's interesting to take note of where it is happening in your body, and without trying to understand it again, but just being aware of it. And if you need to understand why your body would like you to know, it would be good for you to know why things were blocked at this level or another, then it will become very obvious to you in due course. For example, I've done a lot of workshops with Reiki people in France and around Europe, and very, very often they feel their hands with lots of tingling sensation, and even sometimes really warm or very hot hands, and usually this happens by experience. I've noticed that when I had the opportunity to speak, take time to speak with those people, because it was at a festival, a congress, and so on. We realized that maybe the way they were running their healing session were not really conscious all the time. And what happened is when you do that, the energy gets blocked. We don't realize it necessarily. You don't realize it necessarily on the spot. But when you have biomusic one session, because you are involved in, for example, doing Reiki, and it's very important that the energy flows, then it will release any kind of blockages that prevents you from being really useful in channeling that Reiki energy. You know what I mean? So this is just an example of what tingling is about and why it is important to notice where it happened in my body. It could be, for example, in the feet, and usually it's to do with grounding, better grounding, reconnecting myself with more grounding energy. There are lots of things happening at different levels in different parts of the body. So that's a good thing. If you have tingling sensation, that means your body is working well to re-establish a clear, fluid flow of information in your body, which, of course, in return, enables your cells to communicate better, the organs to communicate better, and your body to work better, to function better. That's the whole point. Okay, and at a different level, of course, to have little phrases coming to you, self-realization, and things like that. It's many different levels. There are consequences in many different levels of ourselves, Okay, that's an important point. I think it was worth mentioning. Otherwise, totally different experience. Yeah, it's always different, and you will find that as well, Claudia and everybody, that even if you listen to the same track at different times of the day or different days, well, it will never be the same. It's not because you felt something listening to one track one day that the same thing will happen the next day with the same track. No, because the body uses the support of the sonic vibration at that moment to rebalance itself according to its own needs here and now. So one track can be helpful to, for example, release enabling a flow of information through the hands one day, and maybe the same track the next day will help make you aware of a pain in another part of your body or any other part of the body that needs to be released from stress. It doesn't. That's why biomusic one is not used in a therapeutic way, like, oh, I've got these symptoms, what should I listen to? Doesn't work that way. But I've got this symptom, and what would be the best track to listen to now, intuitively? That's different. That would be a conscious way of using biomusic one. I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling tired, or I'm feeling this, or I'm feeling that. What would be the best album or the best track I could play if I don't have much time, And you let it come intuitively. And usually, because if you have, for example, an album and your body knows very well how it works in your body, if you feel one way or the other on the moment, intuitively you will know which album or which track would be best to rebalance yourself at that moment. That's why we always invite an intuitive use, a conscious awareness of how to use biomusic one. What do I put, and for how long do I put it? And that's when you get really the best support and the best rebalancing. Great. Okay. Okay. All right. No comment. We leave it. Peaceful, relaxed, disappear somewhere. Lovely energy in solar plexus. Okay, great. I rebound on this as well. Solar plexus is our connection. It's our channel of energy. That's our connection. Okay, cosmic connection, let's call it. I'm not sure how to say it really in English. And it can happen that during the day, because of people we meet, activities we do, or places we visit, that there is a disconnection. That connection is affected one way or the other. When you play a biomusic one track or album, this reconnection to oneself is almost immediate. And if your channel of energy was affected in one way or the other, normally it is cleared. So it's quite often that we get people feeling a strong reconnection or a feeling of energy or release at the solar plexus, and also here on the coronal chakra, which is our here we have the connection, and here we have the I forgot the word in la connection et it's a branchement. In French we say le branchement. It's like it's not so much a connection, it's a different type of connection. I can't find the word, branchement. I'll have to look at it and I will let you know in due course. Okay, let's carry on. First one, I felt a lot of pressure in my head. Okay, interesting, Trina. If you felt pressure in your head and then in your cheeks, there are different parts of the body where things are being released, whether there was some kind of blockages. Usually when we feel it in the head is that we are preoccupied mentally by one thing or another, but over preoccupied. This is very typical when we do sonic meditation with biomusic. If our mind is too busy trying to solve some kind of issue, then it's like overheating and mental overheating. And when we play biomusic one track, usually we feel it's quite common to feel that there's a pressure in the head, but as it goes on, that pressure should release itself, and then letting life inspire you, you will be able to find a way to deal with the issue, not in a mental way again, but in an intuitive and in a co-creative way with life, basically. Okay, more tingling sensation for Anne. And you heard allow the process. Brilliant. Okay, it's a very powerful phrase as well. So I'm sure it will resonate in you one way or the other. Felt a calming sensation from my heart, shoulders. Going. Brilliant. Okay, for this, no need to comment. Yes, Leah, I'm aware of it. We're going to do the next two tracks for sure, and then I will share the present we have for you just before Christmas after the next listening session. And for those of you who will want a bonus rebalancing, I will, unless Leah you have to go, we could do a final session where we're not going to comment anything and you can have a listen to I Love One and I Love Two, the two tracks, because they're very, very powerful. But we'll see. Okay, well, let's move on, because let's do the third sonic meditation now. Okay, I'll share my screen again. Make sure you get a good sound, and I'm going to stop the video. Good. All right, again, I invite you to close your eyes, settle down comfortably. And here we go. Here we go. That was a third listening session. I think, Leah, time being of the essence. I think you may be right, Leah, because I think it's worth taking 5 more minutes for the integration and to conclude on the session in the best way possible to really integrate the 3 sessions. And if we have another one, it's going to be another half an hour, I think. So for me, it's fine. But obviously, some of you may have other commitments. So time being of the essence, I promised you to give you a gift this Christmas, after all. I know we shouldn't, it's not that we shouldn't, but we feel that the price of Biomusic One albums reflect, I'm not saying compared to what they can bring you on a day-to-day use of the albums, but we're also fully aware of what's going on in the world, the moment that everyone goes through more or less difficult times. So we thought with Leah, we give you a little boost for the next 7 days before Christmas, and we have created a new promo code that you can see in the chat. It's BMO-SARA-20, so you have a 20% discount until Christmas. So if you want to make the most of it, then you have a whole week. And I've also put the link down of the Biomusic One store. Don't forget that biomusic1.com leads to the French website, but biomusic1.com/en English leads to the English-speaking website. But for the store, it's still biomusic1.com store. And I've also put my email address, Jean-Louis@biomusic1.com, because if you have any question or you want to share some more feeling, sensation, or some things intrigue you about Biomusic One, feel free to write to me anytime you want. Obviously, during the holiday season, it's going to be a bit slow, and also I'm going away on a big festival in Spain for the new year, so I'll be really more efficient back when we'll be on the new year in January. In any case, let's keep in touch, and I think with just for the last news, in case some of you have to leave soon, we'll look at the possibility with Leah to organize session more or less regularly to accompany you with rebalancing and group session, because they're more powerful than when we use them. They create a special cocoon in which we can really liberate stuff a lot quicker and maybe deeper, So feel free also please don't forget to write down what you've been through, because this is again for you to become aware of what those 2 tracks have enabled me to actually release, or what is important for me to notice, to realize for myself. So take 2 more minutes. Really, I invite you to take 2 more minutes before saying goodbye to write down. Yes, it does help you for our research, but it's really for you, I'm saying, because it is a process of accompanying that liberation and rebalancing and reharmonizing that your body has done for you today.
Don't forget to take a picture of yourself again.
And of course, please take another selfie of yourself. And really, I invite you, you've got my email address, just send me a quick note. Oh, wow, this is what I felt looking at the picture before and after. And also, if you don't mind writing down into words as well. If you were feeling tired at the beginning, how do you feel now? Or if you were preoccupied, how do you feel now? Are you still preoccupied? Are you still tired? How do you feel? Just writing down will be really good. It will help us as well to, it's good as well to self-realize for yourself, to realize for yourself, okay, this is, because this is something concrete. It's not mumbo jumbo stuff, or are you feeling less tired or not? This is real, Are you feeling less preoccupied or not? This is real. And of course, let's not forget our animal friends, because I realized there were some comments as well about some of your animal friends sleeping and all that, and I hope they enjoy the session like you did as well, and they were with you to enjoy the session. Um,
I think he mentioned that her cat started grooming her.
yeah,
And then
I saw that.
Mary Ellen, I love what Mary Ellen said. She said, I think this is just what I needed, what is needed right at this time. And it's so true. This just to be able, and there's no work. You don't even have to, like you said, Jean-Louis, you don't have to sit and think about how you're meditating or focusing on anything. You just sit and the music comes on. Because I know when I'm really stressed and I'm working on something, I just turn the music on and immediately my body starts to relax. And like Kinema is my favorite album, but I know and Monte Cristo one is another one that I really like for when I'm working and I'm feeling stressed.
Great, thanks for this sharing. And I can see as well that there was a progression for some of you. I can see the Kirsty feedback, and um, I can see as well that for Sharon, think you will investigate further. Please feel free to go to the website. On the homepage of the website, you have a really good recap of what Biomusic One is about. And you can experiment the different albums as well, audio extract of the albums. So you can feel for yourself which album would be best for me. Usually the one that triggers the most sensation when you listen to the audio extract. But you can also download the app for free and do the same experiments directly with the app. And the app is very easy to find. You just type, I'll write it down, Bio Music One, like this. Let's make sure I send that to everyone. If you type Biomusic One on the research tool for Google Play or the App Store, you will find immediately the app. You can download it, it's free. And don't buy any albums directly from the app. They will charge you a fortune. Apple and Google take 30% commission. So don't buy it from the app. Buy it directly from our website. I've given you the link for the web store, especially that the promo code that we are offering you is only available, is only going to work on our web store. But in the app, you have a free track as well, like on the website, that you can listen anytime you feel. And also this is on the homepage of the app, and you can listen to the audio extract of all the albums as well. There's a lot of information, so feel free to take time to familiarize yourself. And if you need any advice or anything like that, or being guided in one way or another, feel free to write to me. It'd be a pleasure to assist you. I'll be really delighted. Brilliant. Well, what do you think, Leah? Shall we call it today, or shall we play the last two tracks? It's up to you. I'm happy. I'm fine.
I think we'll stop the
free.
recording so it doesn't become too long, but we can. But Sharon asked really quickly, is there one album that you would recommend for sleep?
For bedtime. Okay, Sharon, there is Leah, do you still have the chart?
Yeah, and the chart actually is in the email. It will be in the email recap. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we'll do a recap, and then we'll share again some of the documents that we made available for you. But to answer your question, Sharon, there is one album in particular that is the best to use, is Arnica Montana 1. Having said that, it could be another album, but this is the best one to get very good sleep. But it could be that, for example, you may have difficulty to find sleep because of things that happen in your life, for example, and by listening to different albums during the day, for example, you release all the blockages or the stress that is preventing you from actually having a really good night's sleep. So nothing is black and white with Biomusic One, and that's why we always encourage a conscious listening. But really, Arnica Montana 1 is the one we recommend for better sleep. And obviously during the night, you put in inaudible mode. Inaudible means sound very low so you don't hear the music, but the frequency is still spread. And obviously, the music doesn't work through the ears only, it goes through all parts of our body, it flows through the bone structure. So it rebalances, it restructures the water in the body and rebalances the body. So we don't need to listen to it. We can actually. I was speaking to a friend of mine who's in Belgium the other day. Well, I say friend because we shared a lot of insights of Biomusic One over the years, and she was saying to me, "This is really great for me because I really heal myself while I'm doing other things. While I'm cooking, I'm shopping, I'm doing the washing up, I'm watching TV, or I'm with friends. I put Biomusic One, and I know it's healing me while I'm doing other things. This is great. I don't have to worry about it, and that's what it's about. Biomusic is about this, but obviously, I always invite you to pay attention to how the positive changes occur in you. That's what it's all about. We don't have to worry about Biomusic One. It does its job. Your body benefits from it. But where you have to really give a bit of input from yourself is by paying attention to how you change and authorize yourself to actually implement that change in your life. That's what I would say to you as a conclusion.
I just really quickly want to mention, I want to comment on Kirsty. Her husband heard the call when she was on video while he was with their little horse herd, and he played, they only found the first track that you played, but two of the little Shetland mini ponies stayed in to fall asleep to the first track. So that's so sweet. They got the animals really respond to this, and so we're getting lots of, and yeah, happy holidays, Mary Lynn. I hope everyone has a great holiday. So we'll end here. And then if you want to stay and listen to the last track, great, but we'll stop the recording right now. If you have to leave, no worries. But thank you all so much for coming. Thank you so much to Jean-Louis, always for being so generous. And don't forget to take advantage of the 20% off coupon. And that is not available on the app. So always buy your Biomusic One directly from the website. And the recap email will go out Friday. It'll have the chart and the code for you to use for the next week. It expires on Christmas Day. So don't delay, get your albums now. So thank you so much, Jean-Louis. I'm going to stop the recording and then you can continue.
Thank you to you all. Thank you very much to you all. And I wish you really good listen of the last two tracks. I Love One and I Love Two from Series 2. Completely different process. I'll let you experiment it and